This is a tutorial for setting up a PCF configuration file when using a non-GenICam camera link camera together with a FireBird frame grabber from ActiveCapture. In order for a frame grabber and a camera to be working together, the frame grabber needs information about the camera, including the resolution, bit depth and tap mode. This information is not automatically provided when using a non-GenICam camera. By creating a PCF configuration file, the camera setup information becomes quickly accessible whenever needed. An optional trigger setup can also be included. In this tutorial, we show how to easily create a PCF file with the help of ActiveSilicon's ActiveCapture software application. ActiveCapture is provided with every FireBird frame grabber. For the example in this video, we use a CIS camera link camera in combination with a FireBird frame grabber. We start by opening ActiveCapture. The FireBird frame grabber is detected. The camera, selected by default, is shown as Unknown Device. Click Connect and the default frame grabber settings are read into the feature browser. Start the live acquisition and an image is produced. The frame rate, bit depth and resolution are displayed beneath the image. These are the current default values. The image is black and white, distorted and split. To correct that, we need to match the settings of the frame grabber with the settings of the camera. We stop the live acquisition. Then we open the camera control software provided by the camera manufacturer. In the camera control panel, we need to find and select the specific camera model in the drop-down list. When found, click Connect. The camera control panel is now populated with the camera-specific settings. We see the camera mode and the bit depth, but we also need the resolution of the camera. To get the resolution for the CIS camera we use in this video, we need to consult the operational manual of the camera. We open the operational manual of our camera model and go to the page discussing the video output format. We find that the resolution is 2048 by 2048 pixels. Now, having all the values needed, we go back to our frame grabber feature browser in ActiveCapture. For the image format, we enter 2048 for the width and for the height, then continue to the tap geometry. Going back to the camera control software window, we see the camera mode is set to 4-tap, which means we need to change the frame grabber default tap geometry from 1 tap in X direction and 1 tap in Y direction to 1 by 4 taps in X direction and 1 tap in Y direction. Click Live Acquisition and Fit Image to Display. The new image is no longer split and the proportions are correct. Now that we have the correct aspect ratio and the full image, we still need colour. We go back to the operational manual of the camera to get the Bayer specification of the sensor. In our case, the sensor is a Bayer GB8, GB standing for green-blue and 8 standing for 8-bit. We stop the live acquisition and set the incoming pixel format and the pixel format from the default Mono 8 to Bayer GB8 and click Live Acquisition again. We receive a correct colour image. Now, having filled in all the settings correctly, we want to save this in a PCF file to be able to access the settings quickly for later use of this camera frame grabber combination. To do this, stop the live acquisition, then choose File and Save Configurations As in ActiveCapture. A dialog box opens and we add the name. Use a descriptive file name that includes resolution, bit depth and tap mode. Set the file type to PCF, choose the folder and save. In the last part of the video, we will quickly show you how to use a saved PCF file and how to create PCF files with different camera settings. When starting the system again and opening ActiveCapture, the frame grabber is detected and the camera is listed as Unknown Device as before. Connect camera and frame grabber and again the default values of the frame grabber are displayed. Go to File, Load Configuration File and select the appropriate PCF file. The frame grabber settings are automatically updated to the correct values matching the camera. Start the live acquisition and get a correct image. For different situations, you might want to use different camera modes. Save multiple PCF files for frequently used modes. To set the camera into a different mode, bring up the camera control software. Here we can, for example, choose a 2-tap mode and change from 8-bit to a 10-bit image depth. To enable a higher bit depth sometimes requires changing the tap mode. With these changes, the image becomes distorted and is displaying incorrect colour. Stop the acquisition to adjust the frame grabber settings to the new camera settings. Change the incoming pixel format and the pixel format from Bayer GB8 to Bayer GB10, and the tap geometry from 1x4 taps in X direction and 1 tap in Y direction to 1x2 taps in X direction and 1 tap in Y direction. Click Live Acquisition to see if the display is correct, and then stop it again to save the file. Choose File and Save Configuration as in ActiveCapture as before. In the dialog box, enter a descriptive name, set the file type to PCF, select a folder and save. Find more information on frame grabbers and ActiveCapture on our website at www.activesilicon.com.